don't know if you remember this yourself, but you know, I've got a brother, and would be, I don't know, when we were kids, we might be in the back of the car, and he might like give me a pinch, and then I would like, and then it would like escalation, yeah, cycles of violence, revenge, not good. Adults can also fall victim to this. So I'm 59, so I remember the troubles in Northern Ireland. I always used to think about this, like, how on earth did all of this like insanity happen between the Catholics and the Protestants? And basically you would have these, as I say, like an escalation, cycles of violence. So IRA does a terror attack, kills some Protestants. Protestants are outraged, so what do? They do a terror attack, like the Ulster Unionists. They had some terror cells as well. So basically, nobody wins from that. Of course, this is where, again, like Jesus had it nailed, you know, the Sermon on the Mount, where he basically talks about turning the other cheek. That, you know, an eye for an eye leads to a world where everybody's blind, basically. And this could not be, this message that of restraint basically could not be more appropriate for the times that we're living in. So the big club, as I've been trying to explain, of trying to create a divide and rule situation. They're trying to establish cycles of violence and escalation between groups that they're trying to set against each other. You can see there's there is one positive that's coming out from all of this, is that the more and more of the kind of controlled actors on the alternative mainstream, you know, people, YouTubers and stuff like that, the ones that are controlled, they're revealing their true colours, because what they're doing, they might be doing like videos saying, oh, I wasn't trying to incite violence, but you know, you can watch those videos yourself, and the people that are basically saying we've got to fight for our country and all of this kind of like stuff, these are either fools or they work for the big club, because this is what the big club wants. They want to establish violence, retaliation, more violence, more retaliation, and then, as I said to you before, they can bring in their police state. That's basically what they want. So what I'm urging people to do here is exercise restraint. Yeah? Exercise restraint. Do not respond to violence with violence. Because, as I say, in a world where you know, there's an eye for an eye, everyone ends up blind. Another kind of interesting point, well, it's what psychologists call framing. So, you know, you'll get some of these controlled opposition or useful idiot YouTubers who are basically saying, well, you know, like Islam's taken over Britain and, you know, we have to do something about it. And, you know, so basically they're still advocating violence, basically. So what I'm going to do now is just sort of talk through to you about what the solutions are. As I said yesterday, the main solution to this problem, multicultural societies don't work, right? So what can we do about it? Forced deportations are not the answer, because people won't like, you know, having their freebies taken away from them and being chucked out of the countries. And it's also immoral too. What we have to do instead is to completely scrap government apart from law and order and national defence. So no more welfare. And as I said yesterday, people who have come to Britain for free education, for them free healthcare, welfare, but free for them pensions. We need to get rid of all of that stuff, dramatically cut taxation. It could be, if you're only paying for law and order and national defence, you're probably looking at a flat rate of income tax of 1%. So it'd be quite interesting to see what type of immigrants Britain would attract if we were to completely do away with state education, state welfare and state healthcare, but have an income tax rate of 1%. So that's the first thing. We must start making these arguments, these libertarian arguments for the type of society that we want. Second thing is no longer take part in their fake democracy. So do not turn up to vote. Do not spoil your ballot paper, because that is included within the vote of turnout percentage, and that gives legitimacy to this system. Third thing that we must do is to talk publicly about that we don't consent to the current system. You can do this using social media as well. Just tell these politicians that you didn't vote for them, you do not consent to what they're trying to do. Make the arguments, as I say, like coerced exchange, forced exchange using violence or the threat of violence, taxation is theft. All of these arguments need to be made. Fourth thing that we can do, these things are going to take time. It took a long time to create this nightmare of a society, and we just have to accept the fact that it's going to take quite a while to undo it all. So another thing that we can do is just, if you think about how the Soviet Union was collapsed from within, there was no violence there. It wasn't necessary. All that is necessary is that we just withdraw our cooperation with the regime. So not paying tax is not a smart idea, because the regime will just basically send its thugs in and beat you up and chuck you in prison. So that isn't a very smart way to beat these guys. The smart way to beat them is, as I say, to completely withdraw from the system. So how do you do that? First off is that you dramatically reduce the amount of money that you spend. So rather than buying new cars, because it's got a new shape, the car's got a new shape, or like buying, branded things, dramatically cut your consumption. And when you do buy, use cash and only buy from small companies. Try to minimize the amount of money that you spend with big corporations. After you've done that, second thing that you can do is try to pay down any debt that you have, because the big club benefits massively when you build up debt, because they're able to live parasitically off you via debt interest. So avoid debt, pay down debt. Once you've done all of that, then basically look to retire early. Look, if you can't afford to do that, maybe go from full-time to part-time. Starve the parasite by basically withdrawing from their economy. Start growing your own food. Make connections with people in your locality. Swap and trade things on a barter basis. They can't tax those things. It's not illegal for you to go and cut your neighbour's lawn or go and help them out fix their washing machine, rather than them bringing in somebody else from outside, and it all goes through the tax system. So just help each other. The other thing that we can all do is ditch the anonymity and speak publicly, call the big club out, and just be quite open about it. This was, the main reason for me setting up this channel. Another thing that we can do is change ourselves. So stop lying, stop being economical with the truth, stop deceiving people, don't lie, cheat and steal. Become better people. If we all do that, society improves. That message is not going to be popular, I know, because it's far easier for us not to change and just look for scapegoats. Like it's all the fault of the little hats. That type of nonsense. So whether you're a Christian or any other, even if you just believe in natural law, violence is not the answer. Violence is never, 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 never the answer, because it just leads to these escalations. And this is what the big club is relying on. It's relying on a handful of useful idiots who have got no self-restraint, and then you just get chaos, things escalate, and then they come in with the solution, which is, here you go, to restore order, here's your police state. So yeah, the main message that I'm trying to get across today is just beware of escalation, just beware of these cycles of violence, because this is what they're desperately trying to create. So that's all I want to say today, so God bless.